I'm hitting record right now, so everybody that's not in the meeting, they can join later. Guys, I want to introduce you to Richard Tobin. Richie, go ahead and say hello, buddy.
How's it going there, guys? My name is Richie. I'm going to be your guide next month. I'm going to be taking you guys all around Ireland. Do you have any questions you need to ask me now? Go right ahead. Just a little bit about myself. I've been a tour guide for about 5.5 years with a background in history. Even my dad publishes history and writes history. I've been working all over the country and can't wait to show you guys. Any questions, go right ahead and ask, either over the mic or in text.
All right. Yeah, buddy. They're having some microphone difficulties, so I doubt we'll have any questions coming in over the. Unless Alicia, do you have any questions for Richie?
Not yet, no.
All right, cool. No worries. You'll have plenty of them when you meet him in Dublin. Anything else you wanted to add in there, Richie? We really appreciate you staying up so late for us.
Hey, don't worry. Just want to say hello to the group. Just make sure everyone knows who I am, and if there are any questions they might want to ask, they can go right ahead. But as you say, there's a little bit of a mic issue on their end. That's absolutely fine. I'll listen in for the moment. If you want to forward me anything after that, or if you want to have anything in the chat box, that's also okay.
Awesome. We will do so. Absolutely, guys. Yeah, just to follow up on that. Yeah, Richie's an awesome guide. He will definitely show you the best of Ireland. He's an expert in, the history, today's culture, and absolutely Irish whiskey and craft brew. So he'll definitely be able to teach you a little bit about that as well while you're going around Ireland. He'll be waiting for you at the airport upon arrival. Unfortunately, I won't be joining you on this trip. I have to go take care of another group, but you're in the best hands possible. Amazing guide. Trust him absolutely. He will show you an incredible time. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. Guys, save all your questions for the end. I'm going to send you all these materials, electronic versions, so you don't need to take notes and stuff. Just if you have questions, jot them down. And, let's go ahead and get started. So, first things first, I'm going to expand this. Cool. Guys, your flight is on Monday, May 16th at 8 a.m. in the morning. Unfortunately, this is an early start. You're going to have to get to the airport at 6 a.m. on Monday, May 16th, okay? That is the Oklahoma City Will Rogers World Airport. When you get to the airport, you're going to need to go to the United counter, United Airlines, and you're going to use this reservation code right here, this six-digit one here. You have C796M2. This is your reservation code. You need this in your passport, and they will issue you your boarding passes, and you are good to fly. It's going to be you're going to fly over the Atlantic overnight, and you will arrive in Dublin bright and early at 7 in the morning. Richie will be waiting for you nice and caffeinated, as usual, and the adventure will begin. Guys, the first day in Dublin is going to be nice and easy. It's going to be more of an orientation, get you checked in, make sure you know your surroundings, take it nice and easy. It won't be anything too in-depth, and we're going to try to keep you up for the first day, not let you sleep, so that way that night when you go to bed, you have the best sleep ever, and you can go to bed and wake up the next morning on local Irish time. You've adjusted. So, guys, Ireland's 6 hours ahead, so hence why it's 12:30 right now in Dublin. Guys, coming back, we have a little bit started day, so you can sleep in a bit, but the flight's at 12:55. Flying to Newark, OKC, and you will be back in Oklahoma City at 10:25 that evening. Make sure, guys, that you arrange transportation to and from the airport both those days. You need to be there again 2 hours beforehand. Build in a little bit of extra cushion time so that way you're not rushing. If you sleep in, if there's car problems, etc., you have a little bit of cushion. Get there early, have a coffee, have a little breakfast, relax, okay? What I recommend doing, instead of waiting for everyone outside of the check-in area, the best thing to do is to get there, go to the United Airlines desk, get your boarding passes, proceed through security, go to the gate that's assigned to your flight, and have everybody meet there. That's what I recommend doing. Professor Rice Rollins, if you prefer for everyone to meet at the United Airlines desk, that's fine as well, and we can determine that at the end of the meeting. All right. Guys, carrying on. Luggage. I want to encourage you. I'm going to challenge you, and I'm going to encourage you to carry your luggage on the plane with you, okay? I know that might seem absolutely impossible, but I guarantee it is very possible. Guys, right here are the dimensions of what you're allowed to bring on the plane, okay? You can measure your bags. I'm going to show you some bags in a second, some good examples. do myself a favor, do Richie a favor. Don't bring massive 6-month suitcases, okay? It's unnecessary. You don't need it. This trip is 2 weeks long. You can definitely pack for a 2-week trip with your carry-on, okay? You're allowed 2 bags, one bigger bag that goes in your overhead and one smaller bag, a little backpack, day pack that can go under your seat, okay? I want to encourage you to carry it on the flight over for 2 reasons. One, I want to make sure that it arrives when you arrive, and 2, we want to get out of the airport as soon as possible so your adventure can begin, okay? By carrying the bag on, you know exactly where it is. There's no risk of it being delayed, no risk of it not turning up at all, so we can let the adventure begin. Now, obviously, when you're flying back home, feel free to check your bag on, okay? You might have bought some Irish whiskey, some Baileys, some chocolates, some souvenirs, whatever. You want to pack those and carry them. You want to check those on, no problem. If your bag's delayed, it's not an issue, okay? What a lot of people will do is they'll bring an extra bag inside of their main bag, a bag that folds up easily. They'll pull that out at the end of their trip. They'll pack it full of stuff, and then they'll check that on, all right? Show you a couple examples of what I'm talking about. Guys, these are the bags I like to travel with. This top left one, this is my personal bag that I use. I use this bag for 4 to 6 weeks of travel all the time, okay? You can definitely pack within 2 weeks for a carry-on size bag. If you don't like the backpacking style bag, then you might want to go for a sports bag with a nice sling strap, you know, something that can go on your side. And then in addition to that, you're going to need a day pack, a smaller bag, either a backpack or a shoulder bag, ladies, or a big purse or whatever. Guys, before you go and buy a brand new bag, you may want to talk to your friends, your family, loved ones, etc., and say, hey guys, can I borrow this bag so I don't have to go buy my own, right? Now, you can bring a suitcase. You can bring a carry-on suitcase. Those are great if you don't want to have something on your back and you just want to roll it. That's 100% fine, okay? Just make sure that it is carry-on size. Don't bring the 6-month bag, all right? Guys, sample packing list. This is going to change for absolutely everyone, but these are just recommendations, okay? You definitely won't need a scarf. You won't need light gloves. Apologies. This is for the London one for March, so it's a little bit, couple cold things that you won't need in here. Guys, we already talked about bags. That's good. Multi-layered clothing, things that you can mix and match, things that you can wear with multiple outfits. Try to plan your outfits before you go over there. Don't bring the entire closet and then say, okay, now I can pick my outfits out, okay? Try to plan.
One observation there, Christian.
Tell me that, buddy.
Just want to make one observation there. Point 3 on sample packing list. It says coat, jacket, preferably water resistant. Change that to definitely water resistant. Ireland is, the Romans called it Hibernia, which means land of winter. It rains a lot here. We get summer, but we only get 2 hours of summer.
Yeah, exactly. So definitely water resistant, guys. You see that? Richie said that. Guys, a couple pairs of jeans, pants, yeah. You guys might also want to bring one of those little travel size umbrellas, one of those little small ones that can collapse right down. Either that or a waterproof jacket. You're good to go. A couple long sleeve shirts, some t-shirts, multi-layers. As Richie mentioned, guys, the weather will probably be in the lower 70s. That's Fahrenheit, Richie. Probably looking at what, 15 Celsius, 20 Celsius?
I did Google it for you there. I'm just trying to get this page to load up here. I tried to do the conversion. It'll be somewhere between 45 and 60 in your numbers.
There you go. And
so 7 to 15. So, it's not going to be super warm by your standards. It's not exactly woolly hat and gloves weather, but just do be prepared, especially when we head out to the west coast. All of those weather systems that form up in the Atlantic, when they hit Europe, it's the first place they hit. You can go from boiling hot summer to the depths of winter in 15 minutes, okay? It doesn't always happen, but there's a good chance that at some point you might get caught in a rain shower. It happened on our first day last year where it started to rain 1 second, next second it was like you're on a tropical island.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Just do keep that in mind. If you can bring a rainproof jacket or something that can easily be folded up into your day pack, all the better, especially one that goes into a little bit of a baggie.
Excellent. Thank you, Richie. Guys, also you're gonna need pajamas appropriate, something to wear in the evening. Guys, we are staying in shared dorms. It's people from your program, so the girls will be in a dorm together, the guys will be in a dorm together. Bring something appropriate to wear. Flip-flops for showering. A lot of the places we're staying, we have private in-suite showers and toilets, so you have your own for your room. But my number one rule is if it's not my shower, I'm wearing flip-flops, okay? So I recommend you do the same. Guys, you're going to need some durable multi-purpose shoes. We are going to be walking a lot. In Europe, they walk a lot. Public transportation, walking everywhere. Guys, typically on average, we've researched this. We've kept the stats over trips. Typically, you're going to walk anywhere from 6 to 12 miles per day, okay? So that means that you need shoes that are comfortable and shoes that are broken in. Please do not bring brand new shoes over there that you have never worn and put them on day one and say, okay, I got my walking shoes, I'm ready to go, because you're going to get the worst blisters ever. Make sure whatever shoes that you do bring, that they're multi-purpose. You can wear out in the evenings, you can wear on your walking tours, etc., but also comfortable, broken in, okay? Guys, you're going to need a quick, dry shower towel. This is a backup. A lot of the places where we'll be staying, they'll provide towels for a deposit. So you leave €2, or a rental, excuse me. You pay like €2, €1. They give you a towel that you can check out. But don't rely on that. It might be laundry day. There might be too many guests staying at the place. They might not have the towels available. So you're going to want to bring some kind of quick, dry towel that doesn't retain too much water. The reason is, on a 2-week trip, halfway through that trip, that towel's going to start smelling like mildew and wet dog if you don't have a quick dry one. So get a quick dry one, and worst case scenario, you can wash it halfway through the trip. It'll dry in about 15, 20 minutes. It's dry. You're good to go. Guys, you're going to need a reusable water bottle, okay? A water bottle that you can fill up. The tap water is 100% good in Ireland. It's delicious. I highly recommend filling up your water bottles and not spending money on plastic water bottles. Save the environment, save your money, and use that money for something more fun, like a pint of Guinness, for example. Just saying. I don't know. Might be a good idea. Guys,
I'll second that.
Yeah, Richie seconds that. Guys, you're going to need a combo lock or a padlock, a nice small one, nothing too big. This is because you're going to have lockers in the rooms where you're staying so you can keep your belongings in there. I want to encourage you now not to bring anything too valuable anyway, okay? Don't bring anything on the trip that if you lose it, if it gets damaged, that it's going to put a damper on your trip, okay? Keep it good, keep it simple. Obviously, you're going to want your phone for cameras to connect to Wi-Fi, these kind of things, right? But don't bring unnecessary valuables. You don't need to bring a laptop, okay, unless it's part of the course and you're going to be journaling every day in your laptop and you have to upload it or whatever. I would recommend, if you are journaling, to keep it in your notebook and then transfer it later on. But that's entirely up to Professor Rice Rollins. We'll find out about that later. But guys, the places where we're staying, there are communal computers. They do have Wi-Fi. So even if you don't have a smartphone, there will be access to some computers in most of the places that we are staying, okay? While we are talking about phones, personally, I don't get international calling plans. I deny all access for my roaming while I'm there, and I just rely on the local Wi-Fi, or I buy a local SIM card from Ireland. So I have a local number, and I can get data on there, and I can use that one, right? That will be a better alternative. So I cannot give you recommendations on which international calling plans are the best because I don't do it. I deny all access. Some people say that you can get affordable texting plans, things like this. I'm not sure. I would rely on the Wi-Fi and the free applications that we now have access to, so that your WhatsApp, your Skype, your Viber, your Google Talk, your Facebook call, your FaceTime, all these. There's dozens, guys, so use them. We have access to them, all right? You're definitely going to want to bring a camera. You're going to want to keep memories of everything. You're going to want to bring a journal if you do like to keep a travel journal. I like to keep them. I think it's a great way to remember your trip. It brings the trip to life in ways that photos can't, okay? You remember a lot of jokes. You might start jotting down Irish words that you learned throughout the trip, anything like that. So it might be a good idea. Make sure it's nice and small. 2 of my favorite things for traveling: wet wipes and hand sanitizer. You get off that plane, you're sticky, you feel gross, take a little wet wipe bath. You're using public transportation, your hands are dirty, use a little hand sanitizer. You're good to get some street food or whatever. Those are 2 essential things that I always like to travel with. Guys, since we are going to be carrying our bags from the States to Ireland, you're going to need travel-sized toiletries, okay? Almost every store, your Targets, your Walmarts, your Walgreens, all this stuff, they all have travel-sized toiletries, okay? You can either buy the brand ones that are already packaged and ready to go, or you can buy the empty little tubes and fill it up with your own products, okay? You're allowed 1 quart-sized bag, and typically you can fit about 10 of those bottles in there, okay? Anything that's over 3.4 ounces, they're going to pitch it at the airport. They're going to throw it in the trash and you lose it. So don't bring any expensive perfume or cologne, okay? Because if it's over that size, they're going to toss it. Make sure everything's travel size. I like to travel with a couple trash can liner bags or a couple of plastic grocery bags. Separate my dirty clothes, clean clothes, wet clothes, dry clothes, okay? As Rich, you mentioned earlier, guys, there's lots of rain in Ireland. That's why it's so gorgeous and green. So you might want to bring a gallon-sized Ziploc bag to put your electronics in that are not waterproof. You might want to get one of those in case there is a huge downpour that soaks you entirely through. At least you know that your electronics are safe, okay? Guys, bring a couple black and white copies of your passport. In case you lose your passport, we can get you to the embassy. This will help expedite the process if you have a copy of your original, okay? And in addition to that,
if I could just say on that, Christian.
Yeah, buddy.
Just on that point, what I would always suggest is, especially if it's your first time traveling, just for peace of mind, make sure that any of your flight information, the copies of your passport, even copies of your school ID, any insurance that you might have, it is always a good idea to have them and make duplicates. And so if you want to keep one set in your suitcase locked up in your hostel, one set to take out in your day bag, it's always a really, really nice peace of mind. Myself and the girlfriend do it when we travel. We call it the nerd file. We keep all of our information in duplicates separate. One travels with me at all times. One stays back in the hostel. It's a great peace of mind in case something really does go wrong. Few contact numbers, all of your travel information, and just copies of all your essential travel information and copies of that passport, just in case you get stuck out somewhere, you're completely lost and things go really bad. It won't happen, but it's a great peace of mind.
Absolutely true. Totally agree with that. Guys, school ID, you guys already have a ton of stuff included in your program. You guys are going to be doing so much, there's not a chance that you will get bored. But we do include lots of free time for you to explore, to make a connection with the places that you're visiting, and for you to just have your own time there to, experience the city for yourself. Okay, so there's free time every single day. During that free time, you might want to go visit some things that are not included in your itinerary. Okay, many times if you do have a school ID, you can get a significant student discount. Okay, so if you do have a school ID, bring it. All right, guys, very, very important. Okay, this one definitely one of the most important. They have the voltage is almost double of what we use in the States, okay? They use 220 to 240. We use 100 to 110, 110 to 120, okay? So that means if you do not have a converter in your with your electrical device, if your electrical device does not already have a converter built into it, okay, and you plug it in the wall over there, you're going to have an expensive fireworks show, okay? You're going to knock out the power in the building. The manager's going to come yell at Richie, and then Richie's going to have to deal with that. So what you need, okay, if you do not have a converter already included in your electronics, you will definitely need one of these. This is an adapter, okay? In Ireland, they use the UK outlets. This is what it looks like, okay? You plug your device in the back of this, and then you can plug this into the wall, okay? Now, that's only going to allow you to plug it in the wall. That's not going to convert it, okay? If most modern electronics nowadays have built-in converters in them, if you are unsure about yours, you need to look at the electrical plug. You need to look at your charger, and read on there. It'll say very specifically. It'll say that it can handle input from 100 to 240. Make sure it says that. If it doesn't say that, you're going to need to get a converter / adapter, okay? You can get these for about 10 to 15 bucks. You can get them online. You can get them at Radio Shack, Best Buy, Target, Walmart, all these places. And they have some really great ones that offer, combined inside of it, it has adapters from all over the world, okay? So you've got South and Central America, you have Australia, you have the UK, you have Europe, you have North America, all of those included into one. You get that for about 10 to 15 bucks, okay, guys? Now, ladies, hair dryers and hair straighteners, okay? These are the two notorious ones that always blow up and get fried and knock out the power in the building, okay? A lot of the places where we're staying, they actually have hair dryers, not straighteners, but they'll have hair dryers that you can rent. Okay, all right. So they've done this because it's cheaper for them to rent them out than it is for them to constantly repair the electricity in the building. Okay, now if if you really need your hair dryer or you need your hair straightener and you can't go without it, then try to look for the travel ones, okay? Because those don't use quite as much energy and they're less prone to getting fried, okay? But if you don't need it, then I wouldn't bring it, okay? But if you do need it, try to get a travel one, okay? Let's move on past that. Travel checklist, guys. I'm going to send you all of this information tomorrow in the electronic format. I'm going to need you to send me back your filled out medical form, okay? And also your release form. The medical form is very important. If something happens, you're unconscious, we need to take you to the clinic, to the hospital. We need this medical form so we know if you have any allergies to medication, if you have any pre-existing conditions, everything like that, okay? This stays 100% confidential. We destroy it after the trip, but we do need to have this information before the trip. It's for your own safety. We had to take one traveler to the clinic last year. She hurt her arm. It was, it wasn't anything too serious, but these things do happen, and we do need to have this information, okay? So give me that information. You guys have a week to get it to me. You're all good. And then I'll send that over to Richie, and we're all good. Guys, passport. If you don't have a passport, you need to go take care of this Monday morning. You're going to have to pay to get it expedited. It takes about 3 to 4 weeks normally. I think it's about double the price if you have to pay for the fast process. Okay. Hopefully you all have your passport, but you do need a passport to travel. Very important, guys. One of the most important ones. You need to notify your bank that you're going to be out of the country from May 16th to 30th, and you need to make sure that they put in a note on your account, okay? The reason is because if you go to use your ATM card, your debit card, while you're in Ireland and you didn't notify your bank, they're going to freeze your card because they think that it's fraud, okay? They think that your card was stolen and that it's being used abroad without your permission, okay? So take care of it before your trip. It will save you a huge hassle, okay? Guys, very importantly, you need to arrange transportation to and from the airport the day of departure, okay? Now, while we're talking about debit cards, we need to talk about this. You need to bring, for sure, a debit card and possibly a backup or a backup credit card, okay? Please do not bring a lot of U.S. cash with you. You're spending money. Don't bring U.S. cash with you in hopes of exchanging it, okay? It's the worst idea. For 2 reasons. One, you put yourself at risk. You may misplace all of your money, or you may get pickpocketed. And number 2, you're going to get charged high commission fees, and you're gonna have awful exchange rates, and you're basically just throwing your money in the trash. Okay, the euro and the dollar right now are the closest that they have ever been. Take advantage of that. Don't waste your money by bringing a bunch of cash over in hopes of exchanging it. Also, please don't go get euros from your local bank and bring all of those over with you. You're doing the same thing. You're paying high commission fees, bad exchange rate, and you're still traveling with a lot of money, okay? The first stop we make when you arrive at the airport is at the ATM. You're going to get local euros directly out of the ATM. Now, some banks will charge you a small fee. They'll charge you $3 to $5 for an international transaction, but not all banks. First Fidelity Bank in Oklahoma, they don't charge you for international withdrawals. And then I think there's at least another 3. Check with your bank, double check that, and you're good to go. Worst case scenario, you spend $20 in transaction fees the whole time, and you're able to get out smaller amounts of money. So you're able to get out 80 euros, 60 euros, 100 euros, something like that, instead of having all of your spending money. Richie, you want to say anything on that?
No, I actually have to clear my throat, but now that you mention it, I just noticed you're talking about adequate money for the trip, $300 to $500 to cover meals, souvenirs, and spending. That's a great number, but I always would suggest, if you can, always make sure you have a little bit of a buffer. Okay, always make sure you have that little bit of a buffer there, and yeah, please. I mean, you always say it, but please make sure you don't arrive with a single dollar bill when you get over here. I mean, you should get off the plane with no more than $10, $15. You buy your snacks, you get to Ireland, you have nothing. You don't want that change clinking around. You don't want to be carrying around the money while you're in Ireland, the first thing we will do is take you to an ATM, one by one, be sitting there and having a coffee and getting yourself sorted out. At that point, we can figure out all the finances, be all okay, but please do not arrive at US dollars. It is just another thing for you to lose. It's just another thing that isn't useful, and you will be tempted to exchange it, and you will end up losing out in the fees. So I can't stress that enough. It always seems to happen. Just bring your card. Make sure it's activated for Ireland.
There you go. Don't be that guy. Don't be that traveler that comes over with all that U.S. cash. Now, guys, we've had travelers that have done the budget for less than this. This is a nice cushion number, so you can like more or less participate in whatever you might want to participate in. Now, okay, but if you are on a limited budget, send me an email. I will give you all of my advice, all of my recommendations on how to save money on this style trip. I was a broke student backpacker before. I am still a broke backpacker, so I know how to travel on the cheap. I'm a frugal traveler. I believe Richie also is quite conservative as well when he travels. So we can definitely give you a ton of tips on how to do it on the cheap. Guys, most of the places we're staying, they have industrial-sized kitchens, so you can make your own dinners. We'll probably do that a couple times, probably make a couple group meals together, and it ends up being, a couple euro each, maybe with a glass of wine also. So, guys, it's definitely a great way to do it if you are on a budget. Cook your meals at the hostel, save that money for other things. You're good to go.
It's also in some of the places where we don't have communal kitchens. One place I'm thinking off the top of my head will be one place in Dublin that we're going to be at. You're right across the road from a supermarket. Okay, you guys are backpacking. It is more fun if you throw yourselves in. You go around to the local shops and you can pick up a sandwich in this city for €3 or €4, and a sandwich, a bottle of water, and a packet of something on the side. That will sort you out for lunch. If you're rushing around, you're trying to see as many sites as possible. So yeah, I'd say always communal kitchens, local shops. That's the way to go.
Awesome. Now, guys, if you're obviously you're taking the course, make sure that you bring the amazing booklet that Professor Rice Rollins put together. Richie, you got to see this thing. I'm going to send it over to you. It's incredible. It should be.
Sorry, what's that?
The booklet that the professor put together. Exceptional. You're going to love it. I'm gonna send it over to you later.
Oh, excellent stuff.
Yeah. Guys, we've already talked about packing. Make sure that you pack light, follow our recommendations, and make sure that you provide all of this contact information to your loved ones. Now, guys, I'm not going to go through the whole list, but here are the 5 places that we're going to be staying. They're all awesome. We put a lot of research into the places that we stay to make sure that it's clean, to make sure that it's safe, and to make sure that it has a good vibe for student travelers, okay? You're going to meet international travelers from all over the world. Each of these places is different in its own way. But yes, you will be happy. If you've never stayed in a hostel before, don't worry. It's nothing like the crazy movies that have been produced and all that. These places are ideal for young travelers because of the social aspect. That's the difference between a hostel and a hotel, the S, okay? The S in hostel stands for social. This is the difference. You don't have a social interaction at a hotel except for with the television in your room. At a hostel, there's communal places where everybody gets together. The hostels, they'll organize activities in the evening so you can always stay busy. And you're going to meet travelers from all over the world, okay? So you guys will love them. I guarantee there'll be places that you stay in after this trip. When you go on your own trips, you'll definitely check out hostels in the future for sure, okay? Now, very important, we have had a slight itinerary modification. You are still doing everything, if not more, than before, but we had to kind of rearrange it because Bruce Springsteen has a sold-out concert in Dublin, and in Ireland, as you know, they take their music very, very seriously, and it was impossible to get accommodation in Dublin the initial nights that we wanted it, about halfway through the trip. So we had to kind of modify the itinerary, but it actually saves us a lot of time on the road. So we think you guys will be thankful, and it allows us more time to explore Dublin. So very quickly, you guys can read all of this later. I'm just going to go over just a couple things real quick. May 17th, we pick you up at the airport, orientation, welcome dinner, good. May 18th, you're going to go on a walking tour with Richie. You're going to learn a ton about the city. You guys are going to go to Trinity College, Book of Kells, and then that evening there will be a literary pub crawl. It is not a drinking pub crawl, guys. There will be opportunities to do that, but it's more about the literature and the theater, etc. of Ireland These guys are brilliant. They're professional actors. They're hysterical. It's a lot of good fun. You'll have a good experience. The next day, guys, you're going to go see some Neolithic sites, some ruins that are over 6,000 years old. You can read all about these. It's fascinating. This makes you realize how small you are in the grand scheme of things when you're seeing these 6,000-year-old rock formations and burial.
Christian.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just noticing now, and just for my own amusement, can you please try and pronounce the name of the place they will be going?
Which one? Which one?
May 19th, day trip 2.
The Bruna Boyne.
Say that again?
Bruna Boyne.
Bruna Boyne. We had a little bit of an issue last year with Christian's pronunciation of the Irish language.
How would you say it, Rich?
Bruna Boyne.
The Bruna Boyne. There we go.
Bruna Boyne, you're getting there. You're getting there.
I'm trying. I'm not butchering it quite as bad as I did last year.
Not as bad as last year. It took you a few days to learn our second guide's name, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, next day you're going to some really, really beautiful countryside. You're going to be in the Wicklow Mountains, Glendalough, and then that evening we're headed to Cork, and you'll have some beautiful Irish storytelling. What do you call the Irish storyteller, Richie?
I got Pat the Hat, the Shankie.
The Shankie. There you go. That's the name.
Shankie.
A traditional storyteller. Pat the Hat is brilliant. You will love him. Next day, guys, you're going to hit Blarney Castle, get the gift of gab, and then we're going to transfer to Galway, my favorite city or town in Ireland. It's kind of some people call it the cultural capital of Ireland. It's amazing for music. There's street buskers everywhere. It's a really, really cool town. It's very beautiful. You can get good seafood there. You're right on the coast. You're right on the harbor. It's really nice. You will definitely love Galway. Next day we'll be in Galway again, and the next day you're going to the Aran Islands. That was, I would say, probably the everyone's favorite day from reviews. Everybody was talking about that day last year, Rich. So yeah.
Oh my God! It was the most amazing day. I mean, I've been there a few times, and it's always great seeing people's reaction to that ring fort. Now, Christian, could you just remind me the name of that ring fort there?
Oh, this one's so hard. Dun Angasha.
Try again.
No, I don't have it. How do you say it? Angus.
Dun Angusa.
Angusa. That's right. Yeah, Angusa. Yeah.
Or Dun Angus. Dun Angus will do.
Dun Angus will do. All right. So, guys,
my girlfriend's laughing here.
hey, take it easy over there. I didn't know she could hear us as well. That's embarrassing.
No, I just got the headphones in. Don't worry.
You guys are gonna go to the Aran Islands, but you're also gonna see the Cliffs of Moher. So it's like you're seeing two of the best for sure. The countryside on the west coast is gorgeous, guys. We're gonna go through the Barren as well. So it's really, really beautiful. You'll find out a lot more about that later on. Guys, after that, you're gonna spend a couple days in Dublin. One day you do absolutely whatever you want in Dublin. That might be a day where you might want to go to the Guinness storehouse. You might want to go to the Jameson distillery. I don't know. If you're into zoos, you might want to go to the zoo. I'm not sure. Or whatever you want to do that day. You might want to go on another walking tour. If you're into the literature, you may want to go go check out a few of the incredible museums that they have across Dublin that are free. There's lots of free museums that you can go to. The next day, we're actually going to go to one. We're going to go to the National Gallery, afternoon, free time. Hopefully, you guys will join Richie to Howth. It's a great little day trip. It's about half an hour outside of Dublin on the train. Nice little cliff walk there. Really, really beautiful harbor town. I quite enjoy Howth. Most people do. So that's a great little excursion that you guys can join Richie on. Next day, guys, you have another free day in Dublin. Take advantage of it. Make use of it. We're gonna make sure that you're not bored. So we'll provide you plenty of optional activities. Next day, you guys are headed up north. You're gonna be in Belfast. You're gonna do a black taxi tour. Do you want to tell them a little bit about that, Richie?
Oh, well, the Black Taxi Tour is an incredible experience. I'm not sure how much you guys know about Belfast, but Belfast is actually not within the Republic of Ireland. It is in the UK, and this is a little bit of a hangover from our War of Independence. There's a big divide between Protestant and Catholic, the Unionist and the Nationalist. And Belfast between 1969 and 1997 could best be described as the last active combat zone of Western Europe. I mean, I still distinctly remember going up there. Up 2007, you would sometimes see the army on the streets. Now, I just want to stress it is very, very safe. Now, it's actually one of the safest cities for North American tourists to travel in Europe. But I have a small group of guys over there who are local taxi drivers who grew up in the worst years of the intercommunal violence. They're going to take you around. These are local guys. They're going to take you to their streets, the shops they shop in, the pubs they drink. They'll tell you their stories, what they witnessed, what it was like growing up with the army on the streets. And we are going to be in the shadow of a 60-foot wall that divides two different factions in this old fight. We're just going to drive around for maybe 2.5 hours, and we are going to see the peace walls. I mean, we're going to be going to both sides as well. I purposely work with, I've done over 300 groups with these guys in my day tours up to Belfast. These guys will take you to both sides. You will see both the Catholic and Protestant slums. You will see the murals to the various different militant groups there, which were in operation all the way through to the early 2000s. They'll tell you about peace and reconciliation, and they'll still tell you about where they think that the future of Northern Ireland is going. It is probably the single most contested area of Western Europe, and it is just so amazing to throw yourself into this entire sort of conflict tourism kind of mindset. It's a really, really interesting way of seeing this still living conflict. It's not actually physical violence at the moment, but psychologically it is palpable in some part of Belfast. We're going to introduce you to this through local guys who grew up with it and who still feel it.
Great, thanks, Rich. So, guys, as Richie mentioned, we're going to be Belfast isn't considered the most beautiful city in the world by any means. So that way, what we are going to do while we're up in the north is go see some incredible countryside, which I've heard. I haven't been to the north yet, but I've heard that that it's some of the most beautiful parts of Ireland. Would you agree with that, Rich?
Yeah, everyone always says, oh, go down to the south and go to the Ring of Kerry, but I'm going to take you on a route which, I mean, up to recently, very few tourists have gone on. Of course, Northern Ireland is it's really only opening up to mass tourism in the last 5 to 10 years. I mean, there's always tourism there, but it's only just opening up to mass tourism now from beyond the islands. And that route from Belfast, hugging the coast, in and out of every glen and bay, as you make your way up to Carrick and the Giant's Causeway, is just incredible. And if we get a really good day, we'll be able to stand on the island of Ireland. I'll stop the bus, we'll stand on the island of Ireland, and we'll see if we can get some photos of the Mull of Kintyre in Scotland. You can get a clear, defined view of Scotland while standing in Ireland. That's how close it is. Europe's a very small place.
Great. Guys,
also, if you have any Game of Thrones fans, we're going to be driving through the countryside where about 60% of Game of Thrones is filmed. In fact, I'm fairly sure that the car park of the Carrick Rope Bridge you'll probably recognize quite a bit.
That's hysterical. So guys, we're gonna the next day, May 29th, you're gonna have half a day to do whatever you want in Belfast, and then you're gonna return to Dublin. We're gonna get together at night. We're gonna have a nice feast, farewell dinner, program closing, and then the next morning we're gonna take you to the airport, say our goodbyes, and that is the end of the adventure. Guys, right here below, it says flight names, okay? What I need you to do, not right now, but this weekend, I need you to go through here and make sure that there are no mistakes with your names, okay? We want to take care of this well in advance and not the day of departure. So make sure that you check that out for me, and it'll make everything much smoother. Guys, that is the end of the pre-trip orientation for our part. I do want to open it up now to Q&A, and we can answer any questions that you guys might have. And then obviously if you don't have any questions but they do arise later on, you can email those to us, and I'll knock those questions out for you. Just give me about 24 hours and I'll have a response for you. So Professor Rice Rollins is going to call me real quickly. I'll put it on speakerphone, so hopefully the webinar can hear it as well. Richie, do you want to say your goodbyes, or are you going to stick around a little bit longer?
I can stick around for just about 5 minutes there.
Okay, well, no pressure, buddy. You've already gone over and beyond, but yeah. Well, thanks, sir. We'll
Don't worry, I'm buzzing now anyway, so it's okay.
there might be a question that you have an answer for that I don't.
Yeah, just in case there are any questions, you want to front load any questions directed. There may not be any questions for me, but if you want to front load any of them towards me, you could do that.
Awesome. All right, I've got you on speaker, Professor Rice Rollins.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Woohoo! Were you reading any of my comments?
No, I was not reading your comments. Now I am.
Oh, that's probably a good thing, you guys. You do to pronounce a couple of Irish things and maybe.
Oh, she was giving me some tips, Richie. Great. Those are all.
Just speak a little bit of Irish.
Yeah, she knows a bit of Irish. Yep.
Excellent stuff.
Yeah, you. Yeah, you're gonna love her, Rich. She's a hoot. All right, so guys, let's get going with those questions.
All right, good question. Hold on, I'm coming over here to you. Walking around by ourselves, and it was me. You get that? Can we walk around by ourselves, and is it safe?
Absolutely. Can you walk, guys? The question was, can we walk around by ourselves? Is it safe? Now, let's comment on that. We suggest that you stick with the buddy system, the doubles, in the evenings especially, okay? Please do that. Grab a buddy, go with the buddy. It's just safer for everyone. That's in all neighborhoods wherever you are. Is Ireland safe? Yes, absolutely. We are going to try to, steer you away from certain areas, possibly in Dublin, some dicey areas here and there. But, as long as you're with a buddy, you'll be absolutely fine. Now, we will request that you let us know where you're wanting to go or where you're planning on going. So that way, if you don't turn up the next morning where you're supposed to be, we at least know where to start looking. Yeah. Rich, you got anything you want to say that again?
The River Shannon? Never mind. It was a bad joke.
Okay.
Just to add a little bit to what Christian was saying there, Dublin, Ireland generally is one of the safest places you can visit as a North American tourist. It is one of the safest cities in Europe. When it comes to certain areas, yeah, I mean, I will point out certain areas that maybe you would want to avoid, but they're not going to be the areas which you would want to be heading to as visitors in the city. Anyway, it's mostly for these quasi-suburban areas, and even then, it's not a big risk. Stick with the buddy tip system, but even when you are in places like College Green, down on O'Connell Bridge, right in the middle of the city, do keep in mind, it still isn't your city, it still isn't your country. Always keep your head in a swivel. Even if you feel super safe, even if you're told it's super safe, even if you can see that it is very safe, always keep your head in a swivel as a tourist. Always try and make sure you have a buddy or two.
Excellent. All right. Thank you, bud.
Oh, and Belfast might be a little bit of a different story, but I'm going to be talking to the group about Belfast, of course.
Yeah, you'll talk to you guys. He'll discuss all that on the on-ground briefing. All right. Go ahead. Next question.
Okay, hold on here. Next question. What time did you say it's like get at the airport for the flight?
You need to get at the airport at 6 a.m.
Gotcha. Be at the airport at 6 a.m.
Yep, Monday, May 16th, 6 a.m. Oh, excuse me. I need to put that here in the, there you go. It's right on the front page, 6 a.m.
Okay, yes. Are the seats assigned on the plane?
Yes, the seats are assigned currently. If there is someone that you want to sit next to, you guys can discuss that with each other and swap seats.
Okay. Anything else? Yes. Oh, okay, hold on. We'll do one here. Christian, can we bring back drinks if we hate 21?
No, you cannot bring back drinks in the state, alcohol beverages if you're not 21. You will need to find someone that is 21 that's willing to carry that for you.
Good advice. Okay, hold on.
Do we have people already looking for whiskey?
I think. One second.
Can we buy toiletries when we get there instead of bringing them?
Yes, you can buy toiletries when you get there, but if you're allowed to bring a quart-sized bag full of toiletries on the plane with you, I'd recommend going ahead and getting it at home or using the supplies that you already have, so that way you don't have to spend extra money and you don't have to make an extra trip to the store.
Well, Christian, can I just come in on that one?
Yeah, come in, Rich.
Yeah, really good idea. If you're worried about space in your bag, what I would suggest is take those little miniatures you get in hotels or motels or wherever it might be. If your friends or family took anyone from a last visit or a wedding or whatever it might have been, put in maybe a day or 2 days worth of miniature shampoo, and you can get everything else here. We can take you down to somewhere like Super Value or Lidl or Aldi, one of our cheap supermarkets. We can get you sorted out if you're really worried about eye trains. But always do make sure that you have at least 1 day's worth of toothpaste, at least 1 day's worth of shampoo, just that little bit, just to get you through, in case we're in a little bit of a rush. Flights come in late, we have to get you into the hostel quickly.
Thank you, Richie. All right, guys, next question. Alicia, do you have any questions? We have someone else that's traveling with us that's signed in from a different location, so.
No, I don't have any.
Okay, Alicia, no questions. All right, if you think of anything, let us know, okay, sweetie?
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, what do we got over there, Professor Rice Rollins?
We're going to see the presentation that you just gave to print it off and send it to us tomorrow?
That's right. I'm going to send the recording, so the whole webinar, I'm going to send that to you. I'm going to send the whole PDF with all the information in there. I need you to check your name. And I'm also going to send you additional documents that you guys need to sign.
Okay. Will we get to a place to do laundry, which would help, with packing lighter?
Yeah, Rich, I mean, there are places that will do laundry. I know some hostels. I'll double check and confirm for you. But guys, again, we're talking about a carry-on size bag. You can easily put 2 weeks worth of clothes in there. You don't need to bring 5 days worth of clothes and then have to go do laundry. Pack for 2 weeks in that carry-on size bag.
Hey, Christian.
Yo.
Just to let you know that I do know that at least in Galway, it's the same hostel we stayed in last year in Galway. There is a laundry facility there.
Yep.
In a few other places there will be, but look, once they get over here, we should be able to point them in the way of like just a quick dry cleaner or something like that. Keep in mind, if that is what you're doing, put a little bit of extra cash into that fund, because it might not be cheap, because you might have to get it done in the day, just in case we're going to get bus out at like stupid o'clock in the morning the next day.
All right, good stuff. Cool. Do we have any other questions, guys? Yeah.
Is the Wi-Fi free at the places we're staying?
Yes, Wi-Fi is free everywhere we're staying, and typically it works quite well depending on how many people are logged on at one time. But yes, Wi-Fi is free everywhere we are.
They will be able to get Wi-Fi in a lot of places in Dublin. I mean, just do always make sure to note that even on our public transport system, our trains and our buses, there is free Wi-Fi. You just have to accept the terms and conditions, and it's good quality. So there's Wi-Fi everywhere.
Yep. All right. Any other questions?
In Dublin, not outside of Dublin.
Christian?
Yes.
I think we got one more here.
All right.
The question is, if we have any other questions, should we get a hold of you or a hold of Richie?
No. If you guys have any questions, you send them to me, and then I'll respond typically within 24 hours. And yeah, that's what I'm here for, guys. I'm here to help you. And then obviously you can ask Richie any question you want when you get to Ireland. He'll help you out.
I think Professor Rice Rollins has my email address.
Okay, cool. All right.
Okay, cool. So if you just want to CC Christian into any email that you send to me, just so myself and Christian can sort of combine wisdom. Now, it will be 99% my wisdom, but he does occasionally have a bit of help. But do always just add myself and Christian to those emails. Would that be okay with you, Christian?
That's totally fine, buddy.
Cool.
All right. Hey, so okay, Professor Rice Rollins, is that the connection just got quite bad? Is that okay for you guys? You guys, all the questions? All right, perfect. Well, guys, if you have any other questions, send me an email and I'll get back in touch with you. Thank you guys for coming Friday evening. Richie, thank you so much for staying up till 1 in the morning with us. You guys are going to love Rich. You'll get to see him in less than a month. So, yeah, guys, review all the materials I send you, and we're going to have an incredible time. Yeah, you'll see Richard. I will see you. I will see you soon enough, guys. That's it for me. Have a good evening. Richie, you want to say goodbye?
No, it's excellent stuff. Goodbye, guys. I'll see you next month. It's going to be absolutely awesome. And if you have any more questions, just go right for an email from myself and Christian. I can't wait to meet you guys.
All right. Thank you, buddy. Okay, guys, have a good weekend, and I will send you all this information in the morning. Good night, and thank you. Bye-bye. We are closing out. And meeting. There we go.